Okay.
Hi, everyone. Billy Trasio and Chad Burton here from Modern Law Practice, coming to you to talk more about productization of legal services. How are you doing today, Billy?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Last time we chatted, you were having some discussions with some newer team members about their roles and expectations, and including like what they thought was going to happen at the time. The conversations had not occurred, so I wanted to follow up on that and see how that all went.
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly where we let off, but I think we were talking about some low-level drama
Mhm.
within the law firm. So,
In
people
fact, I
coming.
named the file employee drama before putting it out there for, so that was what I named the file after our last conversation. So yes.
All right, all right. And to be fair, what feels like employee drama to employers does not feel like employee drama to the employees.
Right.
But essentially, I was hearing from so and so that so and so said blah, blah, blah. And so thought they were getting blah, blah, blah when they were hired, and now it's not. And they're, unsure, and maybe they don't like your schedule. So the Santan retail project has created all sorts of new issues. It now has to be staffed on the weekends and on the evenings. This is not something that our workforce is accustomed to at all. So
You mean
that's
your law firm workforce, not like
exactly
humanities workforce. Okay.
right. I mean, the law firm workforce. And we are in an interesting era where the power dynamic between employer and employee is really different maybe than it used to be, or than it has been at different times. Employees are pretty empowered, but they're also straightforward. And the bottom line, just to jump ahead, is that by having very clear conversations, all of the drama was taken care of.
That's it. Just a couple of chats and everything was gone.
Sort of. So I think I may have mentioned my team has gotten too big to do quarterly retreats with everybody. So we broke it into two groups: the operations team, which is the lawyers and paralegals, and we currently have one legal assistant, and then the marketing side, which is our client advocates or intake people, and a designer, an outreach person, and a social media person. So we've got two different now groups of people, and the marketing team is the team that was getting a little, they didn't have enough direction or structure from me. They didn't have clear KPIs. They didn't have clear expectations of their job. And they were the ones who were really mostly responsible for covering these after hours coverage of the new space. So really it came down to, at first, my instinct was to try to figure out how to make everybody happy. And I came up with a proposed solution that I thought would work for everybody. And it turned out it didn't work for everybody. It didn't work for my operations team. So then we discussed that in the operations retreat, really thought about it, how to solve that problem. And it became clear, like, when you have that issue of how do I fit people into the operational structure, you have to start with what are the needs of the business. And so it took a while to get there, as issues often do.
Right.
But then it was like, okay, wait, what does the business need? The business needs a fully functioning intake team. And the business needs, highly qualified and trained, experienced individuals. Like, we are not in the business of, training and giving education to employees. And all employees want education, but you have to balance their desire for education with the needs of the business. And then once we were able to define that, it was much easier to go back and talk to the people who really wanted education and say, here's what the business needs. This is the role that you're in. Here's what it pays. Here's the expectations. Do you want it or not, or don't you?
Right. And everybody's like, all right, cool, I'm in.
Exactly.
Right. Because it's a matter of, they weren't understanding the business part of it. Like you said, the drama, what feels like drama from your perspective was they thought they were trying to get, they were entitled to certain things, or it should play out in a different way, not necessarily to cause drama, but that's their job. And so they're worried about their livelihood effectively.
Right, right. Yeah. And almost everybody in the client advocate intake role is there either short term because, or they want to learn something else.
Right. But they came in for a certain role.
But they came in for a certain role.
It doesn't magically go away. Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes but it hasn't evolved away at this point. That's still
No.
And it's, to transition to the productization conversation, it's super important in that because with the retail experiment, you are productizing some of your existing services in a different way. You already have done that with I Do Over and certified doc preparers, where they're people paying a fixed fee for preparation of documents, but at a low tech model, yours is a human driven model. But you're selling others as well through retail that you haven't done before.
Right.
So with what's been working well, what has been challenging to kind of get that part up and running, because this is still new. We're still you're like what, a month or so in at this point?
We're a month in. So far it is not a success.
Well, okay, let's back that one up for a second. When you say not a success, you mean it's not like, so were you expecting, like, remember when iPhones were like, they would come out with a new one and people would line up at like 3 a.m. to get a new iPhone? It doesn't happen anymore, for lots of reasons, but were you expecting that the day you were opening the doors, that there'd be a line of people wanting, low cost divorce services?
No,
Right.
Absolutely not. I was not expecting that.
So when you say it's not a success, it's, what do you mean?
Well, right. I mean, to me, it really comes down to a cost benefit analysis. There's a cost to run this specific location. And it has certain needs that are beyond the needs of the normal law firm. Is it making money? Is it on its own as a standalone product generating profit? And it is not.
When did you expect it to start generating profit?
I mean, I would like to be breaking even. It doesn't, I'm glad that we're talking about this because I've experimented with productization, and so have a lot of lawyers. And many times this is the initial impact. And then you have to decide, is this something that I believe in so much that I'm going to stick with it and push it through because the market needs this, and we just have to hang on long enough for the market to need this and do it, or do you give up and go away? And this is something that I think any lawyer, thinking about productizing needs to be aware of and needs to be thinking about. Now, for me, it's not really a big deal because the law firm is doing so well without the productization part. I'm not dependent on it breaking even. It would be nice if it broke even, but we kind of have more work to do than we know what to do with. So it's not anything that I have to feel financial pressure over.
Got it. So your productization hobby at the retail space, it's kind of what it is right now.
And it's an experiment. It's an 8-month experiment. So we're already learning a lot. Like the space isn't really set up for, like I was talking to Gabriella, who's running the store. I was talking to her yesterday and she's like, I don't know how to wash all of the coffee cups effectively because there's no break room set up in a retail space because it's a retail space. So that's just one of the things to look at is does it make sense to design the retail space differently? The other thing is there's confidentiality issues with the retail space. It's not quiet enough for actual lawyer conversations to happen. Now, do I invest more money to make it quiet enough? Not right now. You know why? Conversations aren't happening there.
Well, right.
There's other ways to do it. So you have to also resist fixing problems unless the problems have to be fixed.
Right. Yeah. So you've been super positive about it. What has been good coming out of this so far?
Well, so the marketing team had its own, retreat, 4 hour meeting, and that was just tremendously effective at getting focused, understanding what's working, what's not. And our marketing side, which overlaps with the Santan project, is doing phenomenal, blowing doors down. And a lot of times you can't expect anything to happen overnight. Like you said, it's not like there's going to be people lining up out the door, but things are happening, conversations are happening. We've got some media attention. All of this matters, and all of it turns into a good thing. We're also starting our first pro bono day a week from this coming Saturday. That's a really great thing to be able to offer the community. It's a great way to get free advertising. It's a great way to build goodwill. I think all of these things in the long run will be worth it.
Right. So this is a good example of like things manifesting differently than perhaps intended, or, I think it was maybe intended, but it plays out in a different winding fashion than you thought, since you aren't launching an iPhone. If there was a line out the door when you first opened up, that would be kind of weird, actually. So that's not going to happen, especially because you're selling discrete services effectively.
Well, here's what's hard. There is a line out the door for our version of our version of legal aid, which is called community legal services. There are not enough lawyers to help those people. There's a line out the door, and this is a fantastic alternative. And so we as lawyers know that, and that's what we think about when we go in to make these productized options. People need this, but people don't know they need it. People don't know to look for it.
Right. And you're introducing something different. Obviously, people know that family law services exist, but you're doing it in a place, in a way that perhaps isn't obvious out of the gate.
Right. I even had to educate our family law advocates or our intake team on this issue. When people call up and they say, do you offer free consultations? You don't. You don't care about people, blah, 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 blah. Don't hang up. Don't do that. Ask questions. Be like, listen, we have a lot of resources that might be able to help you. Tell me what's going on. Be curious, dig, and be creative, and figure out, okay, between the 2 books that we've got that are specific to Arizona law and the 10 hours of a course online that we can give away for free and the millions of other blogs that we've got and videos we've got, how can we match a way to help the person on the phone with a product we have? But even our intake team had to be kind of trained to think about that a little differently.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Millions of blog posts. That's impressive.
Did I say millions?
Yes.
Okay, maybe not millions, but it sure as heck feels that way.
Like, right. Well, you've got 10
thousands
years,
upon
11
thousands.
Years. Right. Or million, let's say cajillions of blog
we do
posts.
8 a week. 8 a week. And now my TikTok's blowing up. So there's a lot there too.
Your TikTok is blowing up. That's true. It is. I think my girls are happy that happened. So
yeah.
What's your TikTok again, so people could?
Modern Law AZ. So I know this isn't about TikTok, but it should be. So let's talk about TikTok. So it's funny, Santan has been a little bit of a disappointment, but like at
Gabriella
the same time,
likes to dance around at Santan though and do TikTok, so that works.
Totally. I have somebody who's at Santan who also does TikToks. Look at this, you guys. I'll just TikTok is so fun. I thought it was dumb. It's not dumb. There's a million people on there, like lots and lots, millions, even more than my articles.
More than what there. Yeah, this is a proven fact. There are more people on TikTok than Modern Law has blog posts.
Right, that's true. And you make videos and it's super easy and it's low tech and it's not hard. And there's all these cool software inside the platform itself. And I think I started 4th of July weekend. So we are about a month in and I have 5,327 followers and over 17,000 likes. And it's great. It's absolutely great. It's a great way to make content. people will ask questions that you can respond to that's super quick and easy. And it's definitely driving conversations, if not already business and consultations. I'm not sure if it's created consultations yet, but it may have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Modern Law AZ. Watch
Modern
Bill
Law AZ.
dance
Because
around.
remember, some lady in China took modern law. So even if I had a trademark, which I don't, it wouldn't help in China.
Right. And lots there. All right. Well, with that, let's call it a day.
All right.
All right. Well, have a good one. Thank you all for joining us, and go to Modern Law AZ if you want to see Billy on TikTok.
TikTok and do it. Sign up. Sign up. Just try it. I'm telling you,
Right.
that's a simple, easy experiment that is not hard to do. That is more fruitful than setting up a retail location that costs a lot of money that nobody goes to.
There you go. All right. Thanks. Bye.